like to say a big thank you for your constant streaming and the questions you have been sending. It is indeed the reason why we are here as God's servant seeks to help you address the issues in those questions. It is Gospel Manager and it is Friday. And please help me send the link to your friends, to your family from wherever they are. Let them know the Gospel Manager is live. Put it on your social media status and stories. Let them get to see it and join the live stream because we are now live. Now don't forget the questions could be sent via the comment section of the streaming platforms you're watching, either on YouTube at Maxwell Golden Egbe or on Facebook at Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe. My team and I will collate those questions and also share them on this live stream. And also on WhatsApp and Telegram text at +2349047533019. And oh wow, the informations are also on your scroll bar at the screen. And so please take advantage of them to send them appropriately. The email is thegospelmanager@gmail.com. And we are so excited because we are starting off with the questions that had been sent at the course of the week in line with God's servant's teaching on love. Now, many of the questions that have come so far are centered on love, betrayal, and also forgiveness, on how we could navigate our paths through these seemingly difficult situations when we are faced with the negative outcomes and struggles in relationships, marriage, ministries, business. How do you tend to love when these things become so choking? God's servant is here live to help us navigate this part, and as we dissect the questions that had come to us in this live stream. As usual, God's servant is live on the stream, and we just want to say thank you to him for giving us this privilege and opportunity to be on the Gospel Manager platform. I'll leave the floor now for him to set the course for this morning's episode and also kickstart the episode this morning. Good morning, Dad, and welcome.
Morning, how are you? I have been trying to build a factor. I'm studying man and life, the function of man, and the progression that people bring to life. And I'm using David and Joseph as my key study. Every contact home that Joseph met, he didn't only function. Function is an assigned responsibility. This is my job. Progression is you grow above function. It's my job, but I have progressed it from what I was given. And I believe that people are living by the functions of what they are asked to do, not progressing anything. And that is where life has brought us into certain encircling of stagnation. People are just functioning. You get up in the morning, you go to your office, you do what you are asked to do. But you are not progressing what you are asked to do. You come to church, you do what you are asked to do, but you're not progressing what you're asked to do. In your home, you know you have to do certain things, you just do it, but you're not progressing it. So if we don't grow to progress what we are assigned to do, or progressing families, progressing churches, progressing business outlets, at one time you will discover that growth will be so limited. Let us fight to progress what we do and not just function, because function makes you available. Progress makes you create relevance for yourself, because it is relevance that is important, not being available. Because replacement is cheap when you are just available, but replacement is difficult when you are relevant. A lot of people are not relevant, they are just available. And I've always shouted at every person I meet, stop being available, get relevant. Because relevancy gives you an image, gives you value, and gives you an empowered market value. And this will help as we trade this morning. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, God's servants' opening charge to us is stop being available, be relevant, and you can be relevant by progressing your function. That's where growth comes from. And so today we are diving straight to the questions we had collated at the course of this week, starting from the stream on Monday. And the first says, "Good morning, sir. Thank you for your very thoughtful wisdom. But, sir, I just want to ask the question on how you are able to pour into members, and this is on ministry, pour into members who only show up when they need something while protecting your own emotional well-being."
You know, if you really want to do well with life, you should stop seeing the actions of men. I have grown into purpose. So what I fight for now is the purpose of what I'm trying to build. So if you want to really do well with life generally, you must stop seeing the actions of men and start staying in the purpose of why you are doing a thing. So when you do that, those who are members for the moment and members for progression, it will not be a problem, because definition before action proves that you know what to do. So let's try to define before we act. And I will come with the light of a strong student. If you want to be a successful pastor, forget people's actions. Focus on what God is saying to you and the purpose, what you want to achieve. And then that is what will guide you over certain human actions that plays around the ministry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, this next question came with a story, but I'm going to cut the story off and focus on the question because it's a very powerful one. However, it's something we have dissected here in the Gospel Manager before, and it says, "Good morning, sir. My name is Pastor Felix Omobuga. Sir, please, how do you guard your heart from offense when those you serve seem ungrateful or hostile, yet they still need guidance?"
As I said earlier, definition. One of the greatest things you should do to yourself as a leader is to define yourself first. So the problem is not what the people do. You know, before I was thinking that the people are the problem. No. At what time I discovered that I'm the problem. If I don't define myself, then it will be a problem. So the moment I define myself, it's no more a problem. So define yourself first, so then you can now define the actions of men. That's the only way to solve leadership crisis and to solve yourself from being committed to people and the way they act and behave, because man will not stop behaving the way he needs to behave. So you just have to stop depending on the actions of men. When they feed you, don't take those feeds. Try to replace those feeds with what you stand for and what you're seeing ahead of the work. And that's the only way you survive, because they will not stop acting around you. You know, sometimes I look at people and I ask if they have been taught. They've been taught. But you know, it takes a lot of maturity to neglect what is offending you. It's a lot of God inside of you. Ephesians 2:10 talks about we are God workmanship. You need to get into that workmanship of Christ, that you are offended, but at the same time, you are focused. You are being disrespected, but you are still focused on what you are doing. And that's the life I live. You can't distract me. I don't like it, but I won't give in to it. So I've seen it, but it won't bother me because I have to do what I have to do. Growth is personal, but success of growth is for everyone. But to grow is personal. And when you succeed, it's for everybody. So you must know how to galvanize yourself over human actions that will lead you into being used negatively. So because if you're used negatively, it's your own story that will be spoken more than those who led you to it. So we have to be very wise as we live life here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, this next question says, "Good morning, sir. Sir, please, I have been battling with one thing, but I heard you speak some time ago at the Gospel Manager about how you raise people. So one of the things I battle with is I raise young people, but when they get established, they tend to leave especially those who relocate. Now it's as if I have nobody raised around me now. What do you think is the best approach for this, sir?
We have to be discerning. If it is a church culture, we bring so much sympathy to the selection of men. So that's why we end up having the crisis we have. So you have to be discerning and be very purposeful before you raise people now. Because the switch of people's actions, sometimes they are very prompt. You know, I literally asked somebody a question one time, many times ago. I said, is this you that is acting this way? Where is the person? So the only thing you will do is to be discerning and pray that the people you invest in understand the investment. It's like Joseph understood, David understood. Some people understand that they were invested on. Some don't. Some think you did it for God. You know that notion that I did it for God. I'm giving because of God. But people don't learn from. People don't study the sacrifices people pay to raise them. It's like, as a person, I live my life daily trying to make sure I meet the needs of people. Even when it doesn't concern me. What they will not do for the next man, I do for them. So you need to just, I don't have the liberty of protecting what is not necessary. People protect money, protect property, there are things I don't protect. It's not necessary. If I have it, you need it, I'll give it to you. If it's the last thing I have, I'll give it to you. People protect their families. I don't protect anything. Because I came here, I met life, I'm living it. So what you are fighting for that makes you feel you have to live a kind of life. To me, I don't see that. So the results of kindness, I believe that at the end of the day must return back to you who did it. But we must be discerning, we must be smart, and we must start studying people and let God speak to us. And in case God can't speak to you, study your environment and know what to do with people. So you don't keep investing. It's not a crime that you invest and those people return back. They are still in the same structure, and they also help you to grow. There's nothing wrong in that. That somebody is raised in a place and stays there for life. What's wrong with that? Recognizes that this is the place that raised me, and all my life, my family, everything is here. I'm going nowhere. And it's not because of how much you are earning, because you are grateful, and it's ungratefulness that brings all of that. You are grateful for the privilege that life gave you through that circumstances. So when we start staying grateful and staying discerning, all of these things will end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll go to marriage. And the first question here says, good morning, sir. He said, good morning, Daddy Maxwell. Sir, please, in moments where we have heated arguments, very fierce arguments in our marriages, how can we really find a portion of love to calm the emotions down, especially when you are tempted to fight back?
You know, wisdom is so important in how to live life. You know, as I grow older, I discover that sometimes I try to read people's mind. Why do you do what you do? Why do you feel to be disrespected than to be honored? Because sometimes the actions people carry out is for them to be disrespected. So I just notice we are trying to let our own ego take control of situations of life. So sometimes any home you see having conversations of evil or crisis is both parties not knowing that you don't need to show who you are. You don't need to show your spouse that this is who you are. You don't need to show that I'm the man or the woman. This is the problem of anytime you see a situation in a home, the man is trying to show the woman that he's the man. The woman is actually the man that is the woman. So that's the problem. Because if you stop doing that and respecting yourself without knowing why you're respecting somebody, just respect somebody because it's your husband, not because he's giving you money, or not because he's behaving well, but because he's a man over your head. And the same thing to your wife. And we want to see reasons why we should respect people who we married. And that's where the problem is. The day you got married, you have to respect that person. So there's no reason for that. Just respect the person. For peace to be in that home, you must respect yourself. So that's value. And what respect brings, it brings the consciousness of not to make mistakes. Because the moment you respect somebody, everything around the person is valued. That's how respect is valued. So we need to go back to just a little sincere honesty in respecting ourselves. I don't like this thing. I don't like it. This is not the way I live. I don't like it. And you obey the laws that backs your home. It's as simple as that. But when you want to learn from somewhere and want to impose on your husband that's where the problem starts. This thing that we live in a media age and everything is playing itself to us. One of the things that I have never learned is to learn something from the media or from any family and use it in my marriage. I don't learn this I don't do it. No matter what it is. I have never sat down one day and I wish I had. No, I've never tried that. Because the way that person thinks, that's not the way I think. I don't know why they do what they do. They may have a secret I don't know. Because there must be a reason for what you do. I have my own reasons why I do things. So you must stay in the confines of what will give you peace. And stay there with it too. Because don't look at another man's peace. You may not have that peace that you saw there. That may be under some covenant, commitment, and decision making that brought that. What is your own covenant and decision you have taken to keep your home peaceful? So if you don't know those things and you're picking from outlets, you will end up having a lot of crisis. So we must be wise in making sure that we don't allow what we see and what we hear define how we behave in our homes. And conditions should not define how we live our lives. Whether we have or we don't have, that should not stop us respecting ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so this one says, "Good morning, sir. My name is Mrs. Miriam. I don't know if you remember, you gave us a counsel about my son and my husband reuniting themselves again. And that had been a testimony that I pick out every day from Gospel Manager. But sir, please, I want to ask, how can we breed forgiveness? Because my husband and his elder brother are having a very heated argument, and this sudden hate has now grown such that if you mention anything that concerns him, he is furious and sometimes he walks out on you. Sir, please, this hatred was not there. They were more like 5 and 6 because they are the only two sons of the family. How can we foster forgiveness between them, sir?"
Entitlement is a problem of familyhood. People are so entitled in the family. And you can see that in the church. Members are so entitled. They feel the pastor has to do certain prayers for God to work out quickly. So he's working everywhere. Brothers are entitled, fathers are entitled, children are entitled. Entitlement mentality in the family, if he dies, there will be no crisis. So if they can come down and take away entitlement, you see, as adults, we should learn to talk. If you say you are an adult, let's talk as adults. Let's have conversations. I may not agree with you, but that does not make me your enemy. I have issues with people who feel we have to fight. Why do I have to fight with you? I just don't like the way you behave. Change from it. But that doesn't mean that I won't talk to you. Some people are just too entitled, I don't know what they are protecting. Your brother is your brother, your sister is your sister. Some people will not greet themselves. I don't understand. Sometimes I'm shocked. your blood brother, your blood sister. So it's entitlement. I'm right. And that thing I keep saying, when you are too much, you fight for your right. Wisdom should teach you, even when you are right and there's a problem, try to go around it and solve the problem. You are right too. You are very correct. But it's creating a crisis. Why are you still standing on that right? As long as it's breeding problems, go around it and solve it. But today, people will stand on the right until something goes so bad in the family. Everybody is disjointed. Nobody wants to talk to one another because of entitlement. So what do you need an entitlement for? You're losing your brother, you're losing your sister, you're losing everybody in the family. But you are claiming to be right at the same time. Please, if you want to truly be right, you must apply wisdom in being right. When it's creating a problem, try it. Sometimes you accept to be quiet. Doesn't mean you are at fault. Sometimes you accept to take the blame. Doesn't mean you are at fault. Sometimes you accept to let the other man shout. Does not mean you are at fault. You just want to make sure this home does not destroy itself because of the action of this other person. So let's be wise and try to keep our homes, our brothers and sisters around us. How to do that is to stop being entitled and stop being right. If the both of them stop being right, stop being entitled, there'll be peace. Just say, do we behave? I don't like, I'm sorry. And that's all. But it's so difficult today to see people just bring down their self-ego and to say sorry. You know, I'm shocked where a brother and sister, two siblings can't tell themselves sorry. From the same family. Even a wife can't tell a husband, I'm sorry. The husband, I don't understand. What are you trying to protect? That's your family. What are you trying to protect? And we live, and believers are living like that all over the world, just living with so much of hatred for one another. Family is disjointed, scattered. You try to put them together, they are scattering themselves the more. So we need to really take our time to read the Bible and stay away from all this catastrophic behavior that is scattering homes. A lot of homes are scattered, very scattered. Very scattered. Very, very scattered. So it's simple. Take away entitlement, take away being right, and then there will always be peace. So that family just needs to do that. And it's just a hug somebody needs to. And you know, reconciling with a family member does not take time, does not take much. Just pick your phone, how are you? And you pick the call, finished, you reconcile. It's very simple. That's your brother, that's your sister. But when you have judges everywhere in the family, this one is judging, this one is judging. And it's when everybody in the family does the wrong thing and they don't know they're doing the wrong thing. That's my problem. Everybody is doing the wrong thing and they don't know they're doing the wrong thing. And until the problem starts escalating itself, hurting others, destroying others' progress, then they now try to go and look for where to go and seek instructions from. Who is attacking us? Nobody is attacking the family. You guys are not wise enough to deal with your issues wisely. Let me end there. It doesn't make me wrong if I allow you to talk when you are right, when you are right. And when I'm right and you are wrong, it doesn't make me wrong. Sometimes, people think when they talk, they are right because I must pass it, but I didn't do it. I'm not the problem. But sometimes, if you are really mature in your heart, you should know. Sometimes, what the devil is trying to achieve is the discord. But he must use somebody to achieve it. So if you're not smart enough to know that, you will give yourself to the discord by defenses and scatter your family. That's all. It's the discord that the devil wants to achieve in that home. So, but he needs somebody to carry it out. So you really want to carry it out by standing on your right. And that's where the problem is with man. He's trying to stand on a right. I've apologized to somebody very blunt to me has done something to me that I shouldn't forgive for the rest of my life. But I forgive it. I just see it as not important. because that person is family. It's family. You stay there and all your life you are living in that kind of situation. And then you now go and kneel down to pray. Who are you praying to now? Because that unforgiveness you have there will make you not have answers from God. And that's where we are. And I pray that we start knowing that though we are together, we can be more together with so much of offenses and still reconcile ourselves. You can be disciplined. You can say, I don't like this kind of behavior. This is not my lifestyle. Let your family know that there is a certain life you don't live. But don't keep enmity with people who are close to you. I don't do this. I have that. I have a family where certain things they cannot come and do around me, but I don't have strife with anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I've lived like that all my life. So let's be wise so we grow families and progress it. That's all I have to say with that situation.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, there's something I wanted to say, but I'll still make my own question to you. But this person is saying something somewhat relating to what I had in mind. He's saying, good morning, sir. Sir, I totally agree with you, especially for peace to reign. But, sir, one time in my life, I knew my elder brother was wrong. But I allowed him say everything he wanted to say. But I went back to do what I felt was right. And indeed, I was right because the outcome was obvious. But then it turned against me and they began to say that I just listen. But when I go back, I do what I have in my mind. Even though they saw that what I did was even giving us better results. But till date, my family always see me as someone who listens but do not take corrections. To when I was about getting married, my mom told my wife to be then, now my wife, that the only problem I have is that I listen, but I do what is in my mind. How do I correct these impressions? Even though all the times that I have listened to them, but I did what was in my mind was because it was right and the correct thing to do. So what would you say with regards to this? Now, what I wanted to say is that I've had, naturally, I don't like people trying to use words to probably speak down on what I believe in, especially when it is something that concerns a vision or a work. But then they begin to carry this notion that I am stubborn because I don't dance to their tune, especially from family members. So with this regards, how do we manage?
No, these are definitions. That's different. I'm talking about not striving. No, I talked about discipline here. You have to be disciplined. There are things people should not say to you, whether they are blood. I have that. Even to my parents, you can't say it to me. If you say it, I will avoid you. But I will not strive with you. My own is that I will not strive. I will still answer your calls. I will still want to have conversations with you. But I will not bend down for something I know is not a part of my life. That is different. I'm talking about striving. Don't strive with people around you, but don't allow them define how you live your life. No. Joseph, if Joseph had strived, he would have killed all his brothers. Definitely, yes. Put them all in prison. But he understood the value of what God really is in people's lives. So don't allow people define what you believe, whether they are parents or your siblings, but don't strive. My own is simple. Don't strive. You can distance yourself from them because they are not talking well. But when you see them, greet people who are supposed to be your seniors. Are you following what I'm saying? Talk with them. How are you as a family? How are your kids? Don't walk past people who are close to you. Get angry when they are wrong. Don't support evil. Don't say to my sister, what would I will support? No. Correct the issue. This thing you're doing is not correct. And I won't support you. Look, watch me. If a stranger is right, I will support the stranger. I won't support my siblings. When we are growing up in a compound, my mother had issues with a neighbor. He said we should not greet. I was greeting the neighbor myself. I was greeting the neighbor myself because I knew that my mother was wrong. My mother was a problem. And one day they would kill us in this compound because everybody was an issue. So I was trying to create, because my siblings were young, we were always in the house. And my mother was not there. So if we keep that crisis, if something happens here, it will affect us. I was mature to deal with that. But does it mean I would take my mother and sell her outside to the public? No. So I was against the way we are creating strife around the place. But I will not allow that to play itself. So define your relationship with people. Know who needs to be respected and know who needs to be corrected, no matter who the person is in your life. Whether the person is older than you by one day and is wrong, support the person who is right and let the person know that you're not a part of it. But when you're through with that thing, you see the person, great. But how are you? That was a different thing. Sister, how are you? The person is angry. See, this is life situation. You are my sister. For being a sister, we are always together. But this one, you are wrong. I won't support you. I will not. I will not come here and do as if I didn't know that you are wrong. You are wrong. And I will stand up and say you are wrong in a meeting. So if I finish and you don't want to greet me, I will greet you. Is it that thing I said? But that's business now. Why are you bringing business to family? So you tell me that I'm the husband and you work in my company. My wife is the boss and I'm wrong. My wife should not correct me. She should correct me. I'm wrong. I'm working. That's a system. Yes. I should be the example of that business. So if I'm not doing right, my wife should correct me publicly. She should ask me to stand up and scold me for doing what is wrong. So if my wife ignores me, I'm killing that business. So let's not mix things. And that is why when I see siblings in the business place supporting themselves when they are wrong, those are stupid human beings. Because you should know that your sister or your brother is wrong in that situation. And even take your brother somewhere and shout at him. Don't do that next time. You're embarrassing me here. Rather than standing in an error. No, you don't do that. So you must understand that discipline is important, but at the same time, don't strive with your people. You can sack your father and mother in a company that you employed if they are not doing well. You have to do that to teach others a lesson that they can be sacked, they can be scolded at. But don't take that thing after work hours and when you see them, you see daddy and mommy, don't greet me again. You people are wicked people. Those are your parents. Outside that office, those are your parents. So understand where to act and where not to act. Because we don't know how to behave today. People just behave anyhow. You should know where to behave, what condition you need to act on. And you should know, don't bring your family into a place where your wife is involved in something and your wife can't be corrected. And you go back home, you start getting angry. No. When you go back home, that's your wife. Those are your kids. My family works in my office. I won't discuss office issues with them in my private time with them. And I will correct you. I don't have that time. I don't have a problem with you. So you need to understand that the problem we have today is that people don't know what to do outside and what to do inside. They take what is supposed to be outside inside, and they take what's supposed to be inside outside. So when you can marry these things, you don't have a problem. Your family will be the best gift around you. They will support you. They will stand by you. Not all will be that way, but you're not supposed to strive. But don't let them influence your vision negatively. Let them know that these are the areas they don't touch. I went through that, but I told them, don't go there. Leave it. I'm the one that wants to be a pastor. That's not your choice to make. That's my choice to make. It's my choice. It's not your choice. If I fail, I accept it. If I don't succeed, leave it. Don't come close to that one. But saying I won't relate with them, that's my family. I won't relate with them. Do I like the way they behave? I may not like it, but that's my family. If they have a need, can I meet it? Of course, I will meet it. So it's not a problem. Will I talk against them privately in my mind? Yes. I don't like the way these people are behaving, but I will not see them and pass. Because that's my family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll go to relationships, and this one is from Justin. Justin says, "Good morning, Bishop, sir. Sir, please help me out on this situation. I am being," he would say it this way, say, "I have been chasing the girl for a year and 7 months. We have built a reasonable relationship and friendship, but then she keeps holding back because of her past heartbreak and also the way her father behaves to her mother. So she is scared about marriage and also scared about being heartbroken again. I have several times tried to show affection, but they keep saying that that's how we men tend to start. But once we allow them in our hearts, we then become so hostile and eventually break their hearts. Help me out, sir. What can I do to prove my love for her?"
You know, if that young man is going through a master's degree program, it should be true by now. You spend a year to pursue a woman. He's not busy now, so he's winding up his time. That's not necessary. I don't want to know what happened to the girl. You're either involved or you are not. You speak to her 3 days, she said, "No, walk away. I'm going to look for some other girl who will be serious with your life." So what is he doing there? That's a waste of time. There's no other answer than to look for somebody who will give him the answer he needs immediately. Is she carrying the gold mine of the entire Africa? What's he doing there? A year and how many months?
7 months.
What's the problem? That's just childishness. You're either accepting a proposal or you're saying no. What's the thing? I'm not interested. Or I have some fears. If you have some fears, go to somebody to advise you. That's why I keep saying, get somebody who you talk to outside your parents who can advise you on how to behave. Simple. All that thing is lack of being instructed. You're confused about something, go to somebody who can advise you on what to do. And then you come back, you have a better understanding now, and then you respond back, "I cannot do this because you have the same traits of my previous relationship. And I can cope with that. And I want to thank you for the time, for the interest, but I can't cope with you." And you move on with your life. The boy will move on, you will move on and live your life. But saying that you will be talking to a girl for one year, what's really the problem? I believe that it's not going to church like that, as committed as it is to that girl. So we need to get out of such situations. And the girl needs to be cancelled. The boy needs also to move on. He shouldn't stay there. Because the girl will remind him why she accepted. And a woman should not remind you why she accepted you. It's wrong. You should love somebody, not because of how the person came to you. Love is not controlled. It's something that just happened naturally. So when you're telling me, I didn't want to accept, and she will say that to him in the future. I didn't want to look at him now. This is what I was afraid of. So that thing is not good for you in your relationship. So you are either saying yes or you're saying no, and then let's give this thing a try. If I have heard there that the girl accepted and then they are already dating, it's a different thing. The boy is still trying to. For one year has passed. No, he has to be wise. Don't be like Jacob. That's a wasted time. 7 years for one woman. What's the problem? That's not your wife. So let him move on and look for someone again that will give him time.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. All right, so this next one says, "Good morning, sir. Sir, please, when is walking away from a toxic friendship, an unreciprocated relationship, an act of love for yourself rather than bitterness?"
I didn't get that.
So when is walking away from a toxic friendship or unreciprocated relationship an act of love for yourself?
I don't know why we have so much interest with things that are not useful. The man is not your wife, he's not your husband, it's not your father, it's not your mother, it's not your brother, it's not your sister. And it's giving you a headache. What are you doing that kind of thing? It's not your wife. It's not your husband. It's not your sister. It's not your brother. Has not helped you in any way. What are you doing there? And it's disturbing your whole life. I have a way I behave as a person. Before I start getting bothered about you, I want to know how useful you are to me. This one that is behaving like this now, what is he doing around me first? Outside being a wife and a child, and those are commitments that I didn't bring to myself. Life has created that. Brother, sister, I understand that one. And through a workspace or life space, I got to know you. First, we should check how much of impact has your life become to me. If I lose you, what do I lose? If I check, if I lose, I'm not losing anything. It's better I lose you. Because anytime I have a problem, you are creating it, you're creating it to me. Anytime I have a crisis, you are the cause. Anytime I am sad, you are the cause. Anytime I have difficulty, you created it. And I checked through it. I don't think we should be discussing this. It's clear that you're not a good sign to my life. And you have to leave. And I will not have, I don't have patience for that. Me, I don't have patience for that. I will show you that I don't want to see you again. There's nothing about that one. It's not a problem. We're not enemies, but don't do these things again for me, because I can't waste my time dealing with you and you're not honest. You are fighting things that I believe you should not fight against. And the more you accommodate people who are not helping you to do well, you are diminishing in your growth as a person. So you must be concerned about that. People who are not helping you to do well, they are always around you. They are helping to destroy what you are going to become tomorrow. So let the wise be wiser. Let the foolish be foolish if they choose to be. But you must not allow anybody to keep you in a place where you're not supposed to. Outside marriage and brothers and sisters, that one life has brought you people together. But outside that, what are you doing with yourself?
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so this next question says, this is from Abuja, and she says, I don't know if it's a he or a she, but it came via WhatsApp. It says, sir, please, how do I handle a situation where someone in the same church I attend patronized my business and has refused to pay up even after several months of back and forth in 6 figures? How can such Christian relationships be handled without allowing ill feelings come in? It is really a pathetic situation.
And that's why I keep saying that before you get into things like that,
Yes.
seek for permission.
Yes.
So now we are in a gross state. That state now means you have to be. I don't want to use a word that will sound as if I'm uncompassionate, but if the person is showing interest, believe in the person that the person will pay. If the person is showing attitude, then take a legal step over that person. It has nothing to do with church. It has to do with your business. But that's why we must start our things right. Start your things right. Get a system involved. If it is church, go to your pastor. Let the man get involved in your communication in that business. And look at the person first. Can this person pay if I get involved? Pray about it too as a human being to check if this person won't give you a problem. So all of that thing is something that we keep looking at. But if the person is honest and really does not have the money, be patient with the person. But if the person is showing arrogance, showing a kind of nature, then you have to know what to do about it, because some people are not compassionate enough to know that what they do affects people. They feel it's their right to behave the way they like. And it's not your right to behave anyhow. You must understand that life was meant to be controlled. You don't behave anyhow. No matter who you are, learn to behave right. Learn to talk to people correctly when you're supposed to, and learn to behave well when you're supposed to behave. This is so important in life. And let's deal with that consciously. But I think the person should go back to their pastor and start solving the problem from there.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we'll go into parenting at this time. And this one is from Mrs. Shola Anderson. She says, good morning, Papa. Please, sir, how can you show love to a rebellious, withdrawn, or defiant child without giving up or losing hope on him?
Our foundation, I have to start with the church. Let's give our children a Bible foundation first. And when you do that, and the environment corrupts that, keep going back to that foundation. and be disciplined with those kids. It's important you have to be disciplined with the kids. So there should be a sense of fear at home from your children towards parenting. I'm not saying enslave them. I'm saying there should be a sense of fear that I can't do this. We can't do this. It's important in the family. But when they don't have that, and that's already a problem. So let's take the Bible to them, build the Holy Ghost in their spirit, man, and then show parental fear on our kids. And if they go off, the best way is to pull them back with discipline. You must discipline that child to bring him back. If you do that, the child will either get better. If the child gets worse, you intensify your discipline. When a nation makes a mistake, what does America do? They sanction. That sanction is to make the nation come down with their whatever they are doing that is bringing that. So you improve the discipline. If the child is not listening, you keep improving it until the child listens, because you are the parent. He has to listen. But neglecting the child is one thing you shouldn't do, because sometimes people think neglect is to show that you're angry. Sometimes neglect shows that you have given room for more activities to play itself. You have told the child that the child has liberty. The child can take his or her own decisions. The person can do whatever he or she likes. And that's what parents don't know. You don't ignore a child. Though you are angry, treat the situation, don't ignore it. Because if you ignore the child and say, I'm angry, please, I beg, I'm tired of talking, you will still talk in a bigger scale. Because some kids don't think right. They won't go back and say, my parents are angry with me, let me change. They'll say, that's what I wanted, and for them to leave me alone. Some will just want you to do that so you can leave them alone, to live the life they intend to live. So we must be wise, thinking that abstaining from them in anger is punishment. Rather, it's liberty we are giving to the kids. And when you give a child liberty that wants liberty, you have lost that child. So we should improve discipline, improve it until we get that child under control. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, this next question says, good morning, sir. Sir, my name is Mrs. Benninson. Sir, I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I noticed quite recently that she doesn't give, and then when you take what you have given for her to give someone else from her, she gets angry, which is also a trace of hot temper. For my husband, he flogs her to correct her. But for me, I try to speak to her, but yet to no avail. Would you have any advice to give to me on how I should make that child learn to give and also control her temper?
As I said, if there is fear at home, you see, have you ever asked why the Bible talks about the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom? It is the love of God. You say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That fear that we look at God and say, He kills, He can make alive. Sometimes it's the reason why we are serving Him. So when you always sell love to children, no dialogue, okay, the Western world is suffering today because they don't discipline children. So they can kill you. The fear you bring in your home defines strength and control. So the discipline culture must progress on that child. She, the mother too, should stop talking and start doing what the husband is doing. The both of them should do the same thing. Because the talking is not solving the problem. That means the discipline nature is not enough for the child. It needs to improve itself. And that is what to put the child under control. Because fear has a way of making you think. Love makes you stupid. Fear makes you think. So when you are afraid, you think better. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so now we're going into business and career, and this one is from Owazurike. He says, good morning, Bishop. Sir, please, even though I heard something similar to a question heard, but I have so many people coming to me, especially when they are in need, but they do not come when probably I also have my own crisis. How do I protect myself in order not to look very wicked or stingy before them.
Just say no. You can't meet it now. You can't meet it now. That's all. You cannot impress people. People cannot be impressed. Just say no. That's all. I don't have it now. When I have it, I'll let you know. But you cannot define how people come to you. They will come to you. But learn to say no when you're supposed to say no. And learn to say yes when you're supposed to say yes. It's as easy as that. Whatever they describe you, that's their business. Don't bother about how you are described. If you have it, give it. If you don't have it, I don't have it. Don't make it a problem. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And I'm not going to give you what I don't have. But if I have it, I will give it to you. But bother less about how you are described if you don't have to give to people. And that's the bad part about life. When you give to them, they give you names. When you don't give to them, they give you names. So that's how life is. But don't stay there with their saying that they will describe you as a bad person. No. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This next one says, good morning, Daddy. Please, sir, how do I build a healthy customer service relationship and with my partners in my business, especially one that is just growing in a new location?
Consistency to whatever you are supplying to them, and be prompt about it, and try to make sure that you are satisfying them. That's all you need to do.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, then this one says, I think this is the last on business, and it says, sir, is it truly possible to pursue profit and still prioritize people? And how do you guard yourself against selfish ambition creeping in? That is, when you are just focused on making profits. Then 2, sir, what do you do with very dishonest clients and customers who tend to use your goodness against you in business? I give a very brief example. I sold a product to a customer. It damaged in her hand, but she came returning and transferred the blame on my staff, that my staff was the reason why it was bad. She got it bad, but because she knew me, she bought it anyways, but now it has gotten worse. But this is not true. But how do you deal with such customers and such clients?
You have to make sure that your product is not fault-oriented. That's 1. 2, be honest enough to tell the person where the error is coming from. If it's from you, apologize. If it's from the person, let the person know about it. But don't cover up an error that is not yours. And allow the customer to go, who you already know that is the problem. Because impressions are powerful in business. So create an avenue where you are not selling out the wrong thing. And when somebody creates the wrong, the person should know you created the wrong around the system. And that will help you because you must protect your business space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. A lot of things have been said here, the counsels and wisdom God's servant has given us here. Now, what is in the foundation of all of the counsels we've heard from God's servant boils down to character. And it's with this that we invite you to be part of the character live stream tonight at 7 p.m. God's servant will be live and with a guest as we discuss on character, how character has built the life, and how the character of God's servant has also added to the growth and the prestige of our esteemed guest tonight. Now, to know who our guest will be, then please be part of the live stream at 7 p.m. And don't forget, you could be part of the live audience here if you make your way to Rehoboth City at about 6 p.m. To be part of the prep to the character conversation. Now, don't forget, it is on the live stream that you are currently viewing the Gospel Manager on YouTube. It's Maxwell Golden Egbe, and on Facebook it's Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe. Now, while at that, don't forget to be part of the Battle and Rattle service, a special prayer service by God's servant as he leads us to take hold of the month of March. Don't forget, we are in the season where we are positioned to take off and partake of the blessing. And so please make your way down here at 10 p.m. to be part of the Battle and Rattle service as we battle it out spiritually and rattle the shackles of the enemy out of our homes and out of all that concerns us. Now, please don't forget to be part of our Superior Ideas service. God's servant will be continuing the teaching series on the code with the subtitle Love Led God. The series will continue this Sunday, and it's for 3 amazing services. The first service is for 6:30 a.m., the second service 8:30 a.m., and the last service is 10:30 a.m. Again, if you have anyone sick, please bring them, as God's servant will be proclaiming words of healing over them, and we know they will have their instant healing, and they will testify in that service. Again, you can stream the services across our social media platforms and share the links to your friends and family to be part of the remarkable service on Sunday. I'll leave the floor now for God's servant to give his closing remarks and set the course, blessing us for this awesome weekend.
Let us try to follow right. Don't follow wrong. Just imagine that Gehazi followed right. He would have been an extreme blessing to his generation. Let us fight to follow right. No matter what you are going through, follow right. Because the right path ends you in the right way. So let's follow right. Let's not follow wrong. If you follow right, there are output benefits that will come to your life if you follow right. So I encourage everyone hearing the sound of my voice, try to follow right. Try to follow. And you do that in 3 gate paths. Number 1 gate path is observation. Number 2 is application. Number 3 is staying consistent in observing and in applying. And these are the factors that you have to keep putting in your spirit, man. But end up following right. Don't end up following wrong. Following right has a future. Following wrong does not have a future. And I pray that the blessings of peace will always accompany everyone hearing me this morning. Let the weekend be the best you have ever met. In Jesus' name.
Pressures will come, temptations will come, but in all, learn to follow right and never follow wrong. That's why we say here, life is beautiful. And you, my friend, can handle it. We'll see you on Monday when Gospel Manager returns. Have a blessed weekend. God bless you.
Let's understand 3 exalted wealth that comes to an average human that is abusive is because he didn't have guides.
There comes a moment in destiny when preparation meets prophecy, when obscurity bows to divine selection, and heaven publicly endorses a man. For years, Samuel mourned what failed, but God declared, "How long will you mourn?" Because somewhere unseen, an anointed future was waiting, rejected by men, ignored by systems, uninvited to the table, yet approved by God. When God endorses a man, oil silences opposition, grace outruns experience, favor overrides protocol, and destiny answers to calling. Rehoboth 26 is not just a gathering, it is a prophetic alignment, a moment where heaven announces, "Arise, for this is he," from the field to the throne, from anonymity to authority, from rejection to recognition. This is your season of divine approval. This is your moment of supernatural backing. This is your endorsement. Rehoboth 26, the endorsement 1 Samuel 16, verses 1 to 13. Venue, Rehoboth City, Honor World International. Date, Sunday, 6th to Sunday, 13 September 2026. Time, 7 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. daily. Come ready. Come expectant. Come prepared for the oil. Because when God endorses you, no man can disqualify you. Rehoboth 26. The endorsement. Your season has been announced. In a world where ideas are many, but execution is rare. Where dreams are loud, but systems are weak. There arises a generation that will not just start businesses, but will build institutions. On Saturday, 14th of March 2026, 8 a.m., that generation gathers. A World Trade and Market Summit is a strategic convergence of entrepreneurs, innovators, business leaders, and vision-driven builders ready to turn purpose into structure and structurable impact.
I want to deal with level of capitalism, generational capitalism, capital trust, capital progression, capital protection, capital profit and definition. The 14th of March is the day I will teach you on a new level of business scaling, any dimension, how you can grow your scale, not just locally, globally. It's a mindset that gives a mind sense, that gives a mind signal, and that gives a mind sensitivity and mind satisfaction. There are levels in this life that we must learn. Working is not enough. Having a job and a business is not enough. There are things to do to fly and grow from local to urban, from urban to national, from international to global. You will be shocked what you will hear. In a business world, you need capital integrity to grow anything in life.
Here, vision gains clarity, products gain visibility, connections become partnerships, ideas become systems. This is where vision meets market. This is where purpose meets profit. This is where faith meets strategy. Date, Saturday, 14 March 2026. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Event, summit, and trade fair. If you are building, selling, creating, scaling, or preparing for your next level, you cannot afford to miss this. The marketplace is calling. The future is trading. Get ready to launch into the global market space.
If love reigns, God reigns. If love stops, God stops. Let love lead your life. God will be more closer to you when you love people than how fast you pray. Loving people. If anybody tells you to hate a single human on the earth, you will go to hell because of that. Be disciplined to define relationship, but love every man. It's a command. I don't care what they did to you. Love people.